Is this temple only about unimaginable wealth and secret chambers? Or is there a deeper symbolism in Vishnu's lotus-bearing form that connects to the very roots of Vedic wisdom? In the year 2011, under the direction of the Supreme Court of India, the sealed vaults of this temple were opened, and what lay inside stunned the entire world. For centuries, the royal family of Travancore have ruled not as kings but as humble Padmanabhadasas, servants of the Lord. Did the ancient sages envision this lotus-bearing form of Vishnu Padmanabha long before the temple was raised? He alone is the eternal master, the source and the preserver of all. Hari Om. Deep in the heart of Kerala, in the city of Thiruvananthapuram, which literally means the city of Lord Anantha, lies one of the most mysterious and majestic temples in the world, the Anantha Padmanabha Swamy Temple. Here, Lord Vishnu rests in his cosmic form, reclining gracefully on the thousand-headed serpent, his face calm, one hand holding the Padma, another holding the Shankha, the Chakra and the Gada. And from his very navel springs a golden lotus upon which sits Brahmā, the creator of universe. This is why the Lord here is worshipped as Padmanabha, the lotus-naveled one. But what makes this temple so extraordinary is not just its timeless imagery, but also its very real, very tangible connection with wealth, mystery and faith. In the year 2011, under the direction of the Supreme Court of India, the sealed vaults of this temple were opened, and what lay inside stunned the entire world. Hidden for centuries in 6 secret chambers were gold coins, ornaments, diamond necklaces, emeralds and crowns, a treasure valued at over 20 billion US, making it one of the richest religious institutions on earth. One vault, known as Vault B, remains unopened to this day, wrapped in legends of Naga guardians and divine warnings believed by many to be protected by supernatural forces. Yet for the devotees who throng to this temple, the real treasure is not the gold hidden in the vaults, but the presence of Anantha Padmanabhaswamy himself. For centuries, the royal family of Travancore have ruled not as kings, but as humble Padmanabhadasas, servants of the Lord. They declared that the kingdom and all its riches belong to the Vishnu alone. The jewels, the crowns, the offerings of countless generations, all were dedicated at the lotus feet of Lord Padmanabha. So what do these facts really tell us? Is this temple only about unimaginable wealth and secret chambers? Or is there a deeper symbolism in Vishnu's lotus-bearing form that connects to the very roots of Vedic wisdom? In this podcast, we will journey from the outer mystery of Kerala's Anantha Padmanabha Temple to the inner mystery of the Vedas and Upanishads to discover why Lord is called Padmanabha and what the lotus from his navel truly signifies for us as seekers today. When you step inside the sanctum of the Anantha Padmanabhaswamy Temple, your eyes are drawn to one of the most majestic forms of Lord Vishnu ever worshipped. The deity is not standing like in most temples, but reclining, stretched across the great serpent Ananta Shesha, the 1,000-hooded snake. Each hood of Ananta curves protectively above the Lord's head, symbolizing infinity, the endless cycles of time, past, present and future, all sheltered by the Supreme Lord. Lord Vishnu lies with his right hand resting on Shivalingam, showing the unity of preservation and dissolution. At his feet sits goddess Lakshmi Devi, his eternal consort. representing abundance and compassion. And the most striking feature of all, from his very navel rises a golden lotus, and upon that lotus is seated Brahmā, the creator. This image is not just an art, it's philosophy in stone. Vishnu, as the preserver, sustains the universe by resting calmly upon infinity itself. The lotus from his navel tells us that all the creation springs forth from him. And Brahmā seated upon the lotus reminds us that even the creator of the world is dependent on the Supreme Lord for his very existence. Look closely and you will see in Vishnu's four hands the eternal emblems. The Shankha, conch, the symbol of sound and cosmic vibration, it also represents the Shri Devi form of Lakshmi. Chakra, the disc, symbol of time and universal law, also symbolizes Durga Devi. The Padma, the lotus, the symbol of purity and spiritual awakening, also symbolizes the Bhudevi form of Lakshmi. And finally, the Gada, mace, symbol of strength and protection, symbolizes Mukhya Prana, the Vayudevaru himself. Now, the question is, why lotus coming out from the navel of Lord Padmanabha? Because the lotus rises from the mud, untouched and unstained, blossoming in beauty above the waters. In the same way, the true devotee is asked to live in the world but not to be trapped by it, to bloom in purity while surrounded by the challenges. The lotus also turns towards the sun, just as our hearts must turn towards the light of the divine. This is why Vishnu is not only called Padmanabha, the lotus-naveled one, but also often described as Padmapani, as one who bears the lotus in his hand. It is a message both cosmic and personal. Creation itself is born from him, and the path of liberation is guided by his lotus-like grace. When devotees see this form in the temple, they don't just see a reclining deity, they see the entire story of the universe from creation to preservation, expressed in a single divine image. So the question arises, does this symbolism have its roots in the Vedas themselves? Did the ancient sages envision this lotus-bearing form of Vishnu Padmanabha long before the temple was raised? In the next section, let's look at the Upanishad and Vedic references, verses that speak of the lotus emerging from the cosmic navel, and how Anantha Padmanabha represents both infinity and source of all creation. When we see Lord Vishnu reclining as Padmanabha with the lotus emerging from his navel, we are not just looking at a temple image, we are gazing at an idea that was already alive in the minds of the ancient Vedic seers. The Rigveda describes the creation in a poetic imagery. One verse says, Ajasya nabham adhimekam arpitam yasmin vishwani bhuvanani tastum. Upon the navel of the unborn, one, that was lotus, placed on which all the worlds stand established. This is perhaps the earliest hint of Padmanabha vision, the entire universe resting upon the lotus that springs from the navel of the Supreme. The Upanishads continued this symbolism. In the Shwethashwara Upanishad 6.16, it is said, Yo yonim sthite yekah tam anuprapadye yatah purvam jayata ishaha. The one who dwells in every womb, sustaining each origin of creation to that Supreme Lord who existed before all, we surrender. The Mundako Upanishad 2.1.1 adds another layer of meaning. Yator nanabih srajate grannate cha tatha prativyam aushadayaha sambhavanti tataksharat sambhavitah vishwam. As the spider spins and withdraws its web, as plants sprout from the earth, so does this universe arise from the imperishable Supreme God, that is Akshara Tattva. And then the Bhagavata Purana 3.8.10 and 11 paints the most vivid picture. Nabhyam samuthaya vinirgato hi ajo vibhavasuhu padmakrito hi adbhutaha. From the navel of the Lord sprang a wonderful lotus, vast and resplendent, born of his own power. From this lotus appeared the self-born Brahmā, seated on the lotus throne, renowned as the grandsire of beings. From him, the worlds were created under the guidance of the Supreme. Taken together, the Veda, the Upanishads and the Purana give us a single seamless vision. Vishnu as the source, the lotus as the medium, and Brahmā as the instrument of creation. From a Vedantic lens, three truths shine through. First, the dependency of the creation. Even Brahmā, the creator, is dependent on Vishnu. Second, the lotus as Hiranyagarbha. The golden lotus is the cosmic womb, the subtle seed of all existence. Third, the heart lotus within. Just as the lotus blooms from Vishnu's navel, the Upanishads speak of a lotus inside our heart, the Hridaya Kamala, where the Lord resides as Antaryami, the inner witness. So the Lotus of Padmanabha is not only the cosmic image but also a mirror of our own inner reality. And this leads us to the next question: how has this vision lived on in history, tradition and worship, especially in Kerala, where kings themselves called Vishnu their master and ruled only as the humble servants of Padmanabha Swamy? Nowhere is the vision of Padmanabha more alive than in the traditions of Kerala, especially in the city of Thiruvananthapuram. For centuries, this temple has been more than just a place of worship. It's been the very heart of governance, culture and spirituality. In the early 18th century, Maharaja Marthanda Varma of Travancore made a historic declaration. He offered his entire kingdom at the lotus feet of Lord Anantha Padmanabha, proclaiming himself and his descendants not as kings but as humble servants, Padmanabha Dasas. From then on, the royal family ruled in the name of the Lord. All victories in the war, all wealth acquired, every royal decision, everything was credited to the Lord of the temple. This tradition continues even today. The Travancore royals, though stripped of the political power, still see themselves as guardians, not owners. Even the vast treasure hidden within the temple is considered as Lord's wealth, not theirs. In 2011, the world was astonished when the Supreme Court ordered an inventory of the temple's sealed underground vaults. What they found was beyond imagination. Gold ornaments, diamond-studded crowns, emerald necklaces, thousands of antique coins, golden idols, and ceremonial objects accumulated over centuries. The estimated value crossed $20 billion, making it one of the richest religious institutions in the world. And yet, one vault, known as Vault B, remains unopened. Local tradition holds that opening it without proper rituals could unleash misfortune. Whether one sees this as legend or truth, the unopened vault has become a symbol of mystery, reminding us that some treasures are meant to remain hidden. But there's a deeper point. For the devotees, the true wealth of the temple is not the gold or jewels. It is the darshan of Anantha Padmanabha Swamy, the experience of surrendering before the cosmic preserver who lies in the timeless repose. True prosperity comes not from hoarding but from surrender and service. So when pilgrims bow before Anantha Padmanabha Swamy, they are not just visiting a temple of gold, they are entering a living stream of faith where even kings bowed as servants and where the Lord silently reminds us that He alone is the eternal master, the source and the preserver of all. And this brings us to the most personal part of our journey. What does this Lotus of Padmanabha mean for us today? Beyond temple walls and hidden vaults, can this ancient vision help us discover our own inner treasure? The lotus that rises from the navel of Vishnu is not only a symbol of creation in the cosmos, it is also the lotus of our own heart. The Upanishads speak of the Hridaya Kamala, the inner lotus where the Supreme dwells as Antaryami, the silent witness. Just as the lotus blooms untouched by the mud, our soul too is invited to rise above the noise of worldly attachments and open towards the divine light. The unopened vault of the temple becomes a metaphor for our own lives. No matter how much material wealth surrounds us, the greater question remains: have we unlocked the hidden chamber of devotion, humility, and wisdom within ourselves? For the true treasure of Padmanabha is not measured in gold, coins, or diamonds, but in the grace of surrender, the realization that everything begins and ends in Him. So, dear listeners, as you carry the image of Anantha Padmanabha reclining on infinity, let it also remind you of your own inner infinity. The lotus is calling you to blossom, to turn towards the eternal sun. In our next episode, we will explore the Garuda Purana, the ancient scripture that reveals what happens after death, the journey of the souls beyond the body, and how Vedic wisdom prepares us for life beyond this world. Namostvanantaya Sahasramurtaye Sahasra Padaksha Shiroru Bahave Sahasra Namne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasra Koti Yuga Dharine Namaha. Salutations to the eternal person, that Supreme Lord Padmanabha of countless names who upholds countless ages. Om Namo Bhagavate Padmanabhaya.